What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. It's Cinco de Mayo, y'all. Happy Cinco de Mayo in conjunction with Taco Tuesday. Are y'all doing tacos today? I don't know. I got some wings. I don't know if I feel like the drama of tacoing. You know what I'm saying? Um, we eat nachos, tacos, variations of those things. I feel like I just had that. Yeah, I don't think I'm feeling tacos. Every time it's Taco Tuesday, I mean, I have my tacos already for the week, and I'm not sure, if that's what I'm feeling. So I think for me, Cinco de Mayo. I'm not Mexican, so it really don't matter. Um, I don't even really, celebration, wepa, all those things, pate. I won't be doing any of that. I'll be sitting here, checking things off of my list of things to do. Tuesday is the beginning of the week, so for me, Sundays is a whole lot. I told y'all the other day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's a whole lot of reviewing, notes taking, watching. So when Monday comes around, it's kind of like, Sunday, Monday, I'm cleaning my house. Tuesday is like, my day to get things knocked off my list. So, and then I spend the morning with y'all over here conversating. Remember when Amber Rose was teaching her little boy, conversate. Girl, I would not be listening to a political advice from somebody who doesn't know that conversate is not the proper way, to teaching her children, her child. Anyway, I don't know how I got there. Actions speak louder than words. Next time someone tries to convince you that they care, look at what they do, not what they say. I feel like it's a lot of yapping and yapping going on around here in these streets, but everybody, not a whole lot of, people are standing on business. And, we have to look at ourselves. I feel like sometimes we have these days where it's a dilemma between, what we should do and what we gonna do based just on survival. You know what I'm saying? Should have robbed this bank. Just kidding. That's a bad idea. Don't rob banks because you can't get away like you used to. The folks, the big brother, they got that on lock. They about to have, cash is not going to be a thing. I'm off on a tangent. Cash is not going to be a thing. We're going to be digitally tracked. Whew. I'm glad I was born when I was born, child. I did have the opportunity to experience life. I don't know what it's going to be like for this next generation, but they all walk around talking about how they don't care. They better damn care. You know what I'm saying? Because it ain't looking good. I decided today that because we usually get into a little current events and a little, celebrity gossip and a little bit of, excellence history, black, you know what I'm saying? So, and that probably will weave its way into the conversation today. But yesterday, the Met Gala happened. And so, I've spent, good morning, Elsid. I've spent my entire career in the fashion and beauty industry. It's something that's been in me. Good morning, High Vibe. Since I was a small child, I think, when you're a kid and you gravitate towards these things, you you don't really understand why. And when we were growing up, our parents tried to direct us to career paths and things. These are the type of decisions that we have every day. Like the video, share, and subscribe. Thank you, Elsid. We talk about this over here every day. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much like guidance from our generation and the previous generations and the generations after us, and what we can share and offer to them, standing on business. But for me as a small child, I gravitated towards, I wanted to watch Elsa clinch on Saturday rather than um cartoons, music, entertainment, all of that, kind of surrounds the world of fashion and beauty. So, it's just a place that I've been my whole life. And I look at my kids and you have to learn parenting per child. I believe if you have one, that's the one shot you took. If you have multiple children, you kind of learn different things along the way. But I did like decide to let my kids figure out on their own, because as a child, my mother was constantly telling me I was going to be a pediatrician, and I don't know where that came from. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why she would hold something, to a 4-year old to stand by when you're really making life decisions. But my mom wanted to be a nurse. And just based on the way the world was working, her visions were not as clear as mine because she didn't have the same opportunities that I have. And that has seemed to move on from generation to generation until now, where these things are disappearing and being taken away. Um, I don't, I mean, at this point, we don't know what to do. Pause. Everybody stop. That's the first thing you do when you're in confusion. Just stop, survey the situation, get all into your peripheral and figure out what the hell is the plan. You know what I'm saying? Right now, my emotional makeup in this moment, day to day is like I'm in a freaking jungle and there's like a bear right there. And I got to figure out like, what do we do? Um, anyway, um, I think we, like I said, need to allow our children to be who they're going to be. And I'm talking about the Met Gala today because I'm unfortunately feeling torn, because for fashion industry people, um, beauty industry people, it it's a slippery slope what's going on over here in this Met Gala. So I'm going to talk about it, but also gonna talk about what's really happening, as far as the Met Gala is concerned. So you got Beyonce, Anna Wintour, Nicole Kidman, and Venus Williams were the chair of the Met Gala this year. I don't relate to any of these women. So you know what I'm saying? I mean, we love Venus and her sister. Um, it's kind of confusing, what these ladies got going on over here. But the young lady has been on the red carpet for many years at this point, and so I don't know, like, what does it take to get to be a chairman? Beyonce is Beyonce. I guess what I'm feeling is, to be honest, that you have Beyonce and Venus Williams. Anna Wintour and Nicole Kidman are not a part of this conversation because, nothing surprises me as far as they are concerned. Anna Wintour has been the editor of Vogue. I think she's no longer the editor, just like she just recently retired. But, it's been 20 years. She's been the editor of Vogue for 20 years. So I would say any women of color or people of color that we've seen coming through the Vogue magazines, I'm going to go ahead and give that to Andre. I'm going to say Andre Leontali was the reason why, Vogue became more colorful. Venus's fashions are a no, always have been, and that's what I'm saying. Like, when I think, obviously we know why Beyonce is there. That's not a question. Nicole Kidman has many years on the red carpet as a go-to. She's, Academy Awards. That's what she is known for. Besides her acting, Venus. Venus and Serena have an unnatural need for me to be in white spaces. And I get it. Like, they were growing up playing tennis. And that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother uh, time. It was lackluster this year, I feel like, because everybody has been torn. I feel like these people in the fashion industry and, in entertainment in general are feeling conflicted about, their workspace. And, we could get into it. But as far as Venus is concerned, I think, imagine, regardless to what your upbringing is, work your way up through the industry, and you find yourself on with a chair, and this it's so conflicting, you know, while you're there, or maybe it's not a conflict for them. I think for most of us, we Beyonce, we see you, and she seems to be very comfortable in these spaces as well. But you know, when you get to be a billionaire, what kind of decisions are you making? She's married to a misogynistic ex, you know, drug dealer. Now she's over here on the red carpet, you know, living a life of being at tables with Jeff Bezos. Her and Serena have lost their way. Oh. Well, I mean, I guess how about it was inevitable because, like I said, they grew up in this world where there wasn't black kids, you know, playing tennis. We know what you know their father was over there doing, and a lot of times I'm a product of it, believe it or not, being the only black person in white spaces. When I got down here in Florida, which I was at a very pivotal age, I was 13 years old. So, you know, friendships and things are very important. My mother was very adamant about me having me in private schools. And I do understand the lesson and the exposure, you know, that I got based on her choices. However, you can only be affected two ways. You end up like me because when I go home, my friends are melanated and I ain't confused about, you know, whatever it is that's going on over there. Or you can be like these two and gravitate towards that. So, like I said, I'm looking at Venus in one way. She might be quite comfortable, you know, because she walked down that runway with that, you know, short little white man that she married herself to. Let's get started because I'll be going on and on and on. The Met Gala. The 2026 Met Gala theme is costume art, celebrating the Costume Institute's new spring expedition, which pairs garments and artwork to highlight the dressed body. I guess I've seen some of that. The corresponding dress code for May 4th, 2026 event is Fashion is Art, inviting guests to explore the relationship between fashion and fine art. Last year was dandyism. So, you know, we know what that means. The focus was on the culture, as it often is. It seems like for people that they always trying to get rid of, they always focusing on the culture that is ours. So, you know, then try to trans dilute it into a cloud bob. Sorry about it. But you know, was it that Vogue that did that? You went to all white Catholic schools, so did I. They still have a choice, but I understand the outcome. And my sister gravitate towards white, me not so much. I feel like I'm getting allergic to it. The older I am, you know what I think. High vibe. I think over the years, like the micro aggressions that you deal with, it's a buildup, and you don't realize it because you know for our generation, I know my mother used to tell me, you got to go out there and be 10 times better than everybody else in order for, you know, for them to acknowledge you. You know what I'm saying? And I was resistant to it because I was kind of like, fuck them. I can just go over here and do my own shit because they're going to come over here anyway. And, you know, so, you know, we right back to where we started. You said you couldn't find so much art. I guess it's, you know, um that's the beautiful thing about art. It's subjective, and we can all, like, you know, stand in a museum and look at something. What I'm gonna do is, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I just like clicked on things last night. I was just going so we could get to these looks today. Officially tomorrow, my other channel will be up doing fashion, um product reviews, you know, everything that I said I wanted to dedicate that channel to. So tomorrow I'm going to have up, it won't be live. That's why I'm here now, so we can have our conversation together. But tomorrow, on my alternative channel, Just Rhonda Hair and Fashion, um, I'm going to break down, like, you know, what the art of it is, what the inspirations were, because you do feel differently about it, you know, the more you deep dive into it a little bit. So I did put the link in the description. If you haven't signed to my other channel yet, go ahead and, you know, click that link and subscribe to the channel, because I'm gonna keep doing what I'm doing over here, but I feel like that's a conversation that needs to be had over there. Because I think even still to this day, unfortunately, people have they don't give the fashion and beauty industry the kudos that it deserves. However, in times like these, historically, every time war, revolution, change happens, fashion and beauty is always in the conversation. So I'm looking forward to getting into some of the history and in the industry and where we fit in and where we always have. Okay, so yeah, there's no specific order. I clicked on a lot of things, and when I get to the picture, then we talk about it. There's a lot of duplicates. Um, there's a lot of duplicates, but we don't have to keep having a conversation about them. Like I said, I was just screenshotting the red carpet last night as they were coming out. I'm gonna go ahead and start here since this is where we're at. The only Met Gala look that ever mattered. Maybe I'll go backwards. This year's Met Gala is sponsored by Jeff and Lauren Bezos and Lauren Sanchez Bezos, the same Bezos who spent $26 million on union busting in 2025, the highest ever reported by a single corporation in a year, who brought the Washington Post and barred it from endorsing Kamala Harris. Or that's crazy. They were out here buying they were out here buying like media, and that they still are. Controlling the media is the first step, I suppose. Anyway, he bought the Post and barred it from endorsing Kamala Harris or writing critically about DT, who's donated $1 million to Trump's inauguration and reportedly poured $75 million into the Melania movie. That was a terrible investment. Whose net worth grew $75 billion in the past year, which works out to 2,378 per second. Oh, really? Because it's people that can't get to that per month. Whose warehouse workers have 30% higher injury rate than any other industry. The median America makes $64,000 a year. Bezos, and I mean that's a struggle still. I don't think there's a lot of people. I think more people make less than that. Bezos makes that in 27 seconds. In 27 seconds, this man makes $64,000. That's unnatural. Even the AOC were messaging 4 years ago, and it's the only gotten more true. Tax the rich. So this is what this young lady showed up. I feel like if you're going to the Met Gala, if you go show your ass up over here, then this is how you need to get there. I don't know who she is, but I'll find out. Anybody saying over here? They're just saying, yes, she has been my hero ever since. Okay, so, and this was from last year. This was from last year. So, this is how the people should have been showing up. Too bad I don't know who she is. But anyway. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not missing anybody's input. Okay, we'll go here. We'll start here.
Fashion got exposed. Hollywood got exposed. Because the truth is, these aren't industries anymore. This is one system, and it's all fighting for attention. Look at this weekend. We've got Devil Wears Prada opening. It's going to be big. But the Met Gala was a power shift. You look at what's happening with the Met Gala, designers pulling back, talent questioning it, and then you bring in someone like Jeff Bezos. Now the room changes because it's no longer about just taste. It's about power. Yeah, he's got a beautiful wife. She's super smart, but Bezos doesn't just represent money. Both of them represent distribution, commerce, control. When that enters fashion, it stops being culture and it starts being infrastructure. Prada too, the truth is that it's hiding in plain sight. It's tracking to open bigger than mostly anything. Think about that. Why? It's because people suddenly care about that. What fashion magazines are saying now, No, it's because they miss something. They miss a world where someone like Miranda Priestley had control, where taste mattered, where decisions were made by people, not algorithms. They're going to watch the movie on platforms controlled by Bezos, Zuckerberg, Cook. So you're watching a story about an old power system inside a new one that replaced it. So now look at fashion. Chanel dropped something controversial, not to sell it, but to make it a trend. You've got Sydney Sweeney turning a moment into a global campaign overnight, because now runways don't matter, campaigns don't matter. Virality is the business model. If it doesn't trend, it doesn't exist. The real power players in this thing, who are they? Well, they actually changed the system. It's not just Hollywood that's in this group anymore. Bezos controls commerce and distribution. Musk, he controls attention and scale, and Zuckerberg controls what you see. Tim Cook controls the device you have in your hand. That's the stack. That's the system. And Hollywood, it lives inside it now. Fashion used to be one lane, media another, Hollywood another, all separate, all controlled. Now, collapsed into one system, driven one thing, attention. That's what's going to happen this weekend. So Devil Wears Prada is going to be big. We don't just change how we consume, we change what the consumption is. You're not just watching content now. You're inside a system designed to capture you, to sell to you, and to keep you there. So ask yourself, are you a consumer or are you the product? The family business. Have a great weekend.
I think that's a great question. Are you the consumer or are you the product? Listening to him makes me think of words like underground, chitlin circuit. You know what I'm saying? Away from that shit. We obviously have to engage, I think, to some extent in order to function in this country that we live in. However, step away. I feel like Jeff Bezos literally just killed the Met Gala. And so, alternative, you know what I'm saying? If you want to, you either going to play the game or be part of the game in this system in order to survive. I mean, and this is not something I'm winging it out here just like everybody else, but I feel like the only way to win is to step the fuck away. Why am I on the treadmill? Get the fuck off the treadmill. So as much as I love fashion, I don't think the Met Gala is necessarily where, it's going to be from here on out, unfortunately, because of Jeff Bezos and the system. So, you have to prioritize. I remember watching Zeitgeist. If you've never seen that, it's a documentary. Kind of a conspiracy theory, not so much a documentary, but with a lot of truth, with a lot of this kind of information. And so it was a little section in there about, what really was going on with 9/11, you know what I'm saying, and the monies and the conspiracy theory about the Twin Towers and how they were actually really not taken out by airplane fuel. It's the interesting, like I said, if you're into conspiracy theories. But I watched it with my daughter. She was, I keep saying 10 years old. I feel like that's the age where kids will start like understanding things. But she asked me questions. She was asking questions about the movie, and I love that moment where you get to kind of, that's a lot of what we need in the home. Like, encourage your kids to ask questions, because if it ain't feeling right and you got a question, you should damn sure be able to ask it. Anyway, she was like, the whole idea of capitalism. And we weren't speaking in those types of terms, but I remember her saying, like, why can't we just go back to, like, you've got bread and I've got, cheese. And I'm like, you're right. Like, that's how things happen in the beginning. People were living to be comfortable. This is not about being comfortable. This is about control. Even the fast fashion and all of the, stuff. Jeff Bezos has used up all the oil all on his own, for goodness sakes. Anyway, that's how I feel. Jeff Bezos killed the Met Gala. I don't know how we're gonna feel going back. I'm gonna get off the politics part, but we got to talk about it before we start enjoying, the fashions of it all.
Ciao. Bezos. My name is Mary Hill. I am a 72-year-old warehouse worker at one of your facilities. When we struggle from paycheck to paycheck, from week to week, really angers me. Because if it weren't for every associate in every Amazon facility, he wouldn't have all those zeros behind his name. Shame on you, Jeff Bezos. The people that need to be being celebrated at the Met Gala are the workers, people like me. We deserve that celebration. We deserve so much more than we're getting. There's power in numbers, and there's more of us than there are of you. Remember, Jeff, ordinary people like myself that helped make you billionaires, if we built it, we can tear it down. Think about that tonight, okay? After that bottle of champagne when you go to bed. We're going to keep growing and we're going to keep building and we're going to keep protesting and we're going to keep marching and we're going to keep fighting this dystopian culture. We're not stopping. We're just getting cranked up. Enjoy your damn gala.
So this was the protest that was going on outside the Met Gala, and for me, like you said earlier, Elston, it wasn't so creative or so much art. This is what the attention is supposed to be, and I feel like a lot of times this is why fashion and politics always like cross a lane somewhere. Um, And for everyone that was in there, the energy was feeling conflicted. You could see it on the red carpet. It was like people standing, getting their picture taken, feeling, they walked past that. They walked past that. Every person that's supposed to be woke, every person that's supposed to be, uh, women's empowerment and pro LGBT, all of those people walking that damn stairs should have felt a damn fool. And that's probably like what you were feeling from the Met Gala red carpet. We can go back to those days somewhat. It will take a whole shift in our lives, downsizing and relocating on the outskirts of cities. Hi Bob, I'm already on the outskirts of the city. And it's getting too much. I'm ready to scooch some more. Um, I think the whole thing, though, that keeps us from doing that, that's why I said convenience is the death of us in a lot of ways, because we're like, oh my God, the grocery store, can they build a Walmart? As soon as Walmart come, remember back in the day when the white people was like, don't bring no damn Walmart over here, because they know what Walmart brings, to the community. It's nice to have, something convenient, but at the, risk of what? And they buying up all the land. But I am at a point where I'm okay being further away. Like Disney, Orlando, I don't really deal in all of that anymore. And I don't mind traveling to it. Like I can go ahead and rent a resort day. And for us here, I mean, I don't know if it's just for locals or just in general, but you could go rent a resort day. You don't have to like, buy the bank just to get away. You want to go do some Disney shit, spend the night over there. You know what I'm saying? Go home in the morning. And I feel like those are the experiences that, we as Floridians get to have versus people who have to travel and have somewhere to stay and all of that. I can go to the beach and then come back home. But I'm ready to get the hell out of here too. Good morning, Lotus Egyptian Flower. Hey, Jay Tony. Anyway, let's get back to the conversation. Um, Everybody at Amazon just need to quit. But what you gonna do when you gotta eat? And then Amazon and all of that stuff blew up during COVID. We were all shut down, and everybody learned how to not leave the house. Oh, I like this not leave the house shit. I could just stay in here, have stuff come to my door. When you ordering stuff and you don't even go to nowhere, you ordering stuff on Temu and Shein and stuff, and you don't leave the house. We sit around with leggings and stretchy shit on, and then now the fabric is killing us, and they took away Joanne fabrics, and so what are we supposed to do? Whew. Anyway, so we got the Carter family here. You'll be seeing them, at different points throughout the morning. But like I said, I just caught some shots. Um, Oh, let me read these because these are shots. This is the protest. So we're not looking at the clothes. They got the Carter family covered up with the banner. It says Met Gala, more like Debt Gala because somebody always pays, just not them. Huh. Beyonce? Next slide. The Met Gala, where inequality gets red carpet. Um, That is what's the tennis player's name? Osako. We don't need galas. We need groceries, housing, and people power. That's in front of Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny was in there in a disguise. Bad Bunny was in there in a disguise. I did not even know who he was. Man, what does this have to do with art? I don't know. Bad Bunny, you came over here to the Super Bowl and did your thing, and I was here. I was here in the front row. Bad Bunny. Now you over here at the Met Gala in a disguise because you torn and you don't know if you want to be seen over there. See what y'all got talking about. Everybody's saying hello, hi y'all, hello everyone. Let's see. You said, I get that. I went to an all-white Catholic school. Oh, I'm way back there, child. I'm in a conversation that was had. It's important to become more conscious of where our dollars are being spent. We have to. We absolutely have to. But these pictures is like these people are out here, and I love every minute of it because if we're gonna talk about it, we got to talk about all of it. We can't just look and be like, ooh, and I don't know if it's me, but I feel like the people were uncomfortable. All of them. It was a very uncomfortable mode in there. You said you live in Northwest Arkansas, and this Walmart is headquarters. Oh, there's really no other chain of grocery store except for Whole Foods, and that's that. There's a whole lot in between Whole Foods and damn Walmart. Whole Foods is for single people who want to eat cute on date night. That is not where you go buy groceries. And I like Whole Foods, but we have Whole Foods. I would say the closest thing to me though is the Fresh Market was, just like Whole Foods. And now, like in my neighborhood, we have Sprouts, which I like, but it's the same thing. Sprouts is one of those like you can go in there and spend some money. And I got steaks from Sprouts the other day that were not that great and they were expensive. So yeah, farmers, local farmers, where they at? If then, and I, like I said, my happy place for my daughter, because I know this would be right up her alley, is for her and her, family to have a couple acres where she can be outside planting, and my grandkids can run around and learn some agriculture because it's in her. You know what I'm saying? So local farmers, we have to seek them out. It's gonna be better for us in the long run. It's You need to learn how to sew. Well, I got that one, Steve. That's what I'm talking about. You got some bread, I got some. I know how to sew, and we trade like that. And people kind of focus on the things that they're good at in their happy place. If you're somebody that likes to bake, we trade. At the end of the day, you get what you need because money don't really exist. Money is just a piece of paper to get me what I need. If I need a new coat, and trade it with the bread lady. You said the art show inside was about aging and art. This was why Bad Bunny was in disguise. Bad Bunny was like, oh shit, this is where when they put a sign in front of my picture, they not even gonna know who I am. Yeah. This is it SZA or Summer Walker? I know I don't like it, but we'll get into it, a little bit down the road. Union organizers and cuffs, billionaires and culture. And here she's standing. If she didn't feel a fool in that moment, she feel a fool right now when she's seeing this picture, because this is what the people are talking about. You went all out of your way to get dressed up like I don't know what she's dressed as, a butterfly in a garden, sitting on a tutu. I don't know. But the people said union organizers are in cuffs, billionaires in couture. Wow, you ain't even no billionaire. $75,000 ticket funded by overproduction, union busting, and ecological collapse. You know what? When you think about like all the fabric and the waste that the fashion industry produces, there needs to be a revamp. Y'all over here being wasteful. Space flights for billionaires, tight shifts for workers. Rihanna, ASAP, y'all been home for a long time. What made you come out tonight? And I don't even know, I don't know what y'all even look like. Yeah, that's Scissor. Good morning, T. That's Scissor. The other one didn't look no better. I'm pretty sure she's on here. I just decided to go backwards. I'm like, I don't, have any rhyme or reason today. I just was like, let me get these pictures and we can talk about it, because it was less about the fashion and more about the message as far as I'm concerned. Amazon promises next day delivery, but really delivers long-term destruction. I'm not laughing at the message, because that's what it is. Y'all brought Jeff Bezos over here and tainted the whole damn thing. He crushed it in one night. He crushed the Met Gala. Because, moving forward, it shouldn't be something you want to be associating yourself with. And then replace him with who? Every work shift gets longer, every paycheck gets shorter. And here y'all ass is. We can talk about the art, but we're gonna talk about this first. Sierra Russell. Ain't you Beyonce's friend? Y'all hang around the same company. Red carpets don't feed communities. Collective action does. Now, I'm not going to say that these people don't do that, because I know Russell be over there, in the community. But here you are too. And this is just one of those times that y'all should have stayed home. Y'all, for the people of color, should have let them have it. They should have let them have this one. Putting Beyonce and Jay-Z at the front, that doesn't mean the same as it used to. They look foolish. They should be embarrassed. I bet you when they got dressed that night, they didn't know that the next day there was going to be banners in front of their face while they dancing on the red carpet, and then people are like, y'all are supporting Jeff Bezos? The country is hurting and the millionaires are partying in our faces. That's what they did. That's what they did. But them Amazon workers came out. Good morning to go to Africa. Good morning to go to Africa. Well, welcome to the coffee talk. Yeah, I like them too, Tony, because like I said, they were over there in that party thinking that this was what it was going to look like today, and I have a feeling it's going to get worse before it gets better. I feel like the next, couple of days or so, we're going to be talking about Jeff Bezos and his gang of buddies and what they're doing over there. I feel like this I'm proud of these people for speaking up. You know what I'm saying? The protest is being had, and nobody had to be going away in handcuffs. One person did, but he on the grounds, and we need that too. Janelle Monáe, glitz and glam, but we know the scam. Janelle, you should have sat this one out. Please don't act like you didn't know. Please don't act like you didn't know. Stop the show. Build power below. She look a fool. Anyway. Yeah, this is the conversation behind the Met. Okay, so here's some of the looks. Here we are, folks. The Met Gala 2026, fashion's annual big one, held to raise funds for Metropolitan Museum of Art Costume Institute, has landed. This year's exhibition, titled Costume Art and curated by Andrew Bolton, pairs 200 garments and accessories with 200 artworks from the museum's collection. The corresponding dress code, fashion is art, means that guests were invited to treat their bodies like a canvas, and it's compared to some other years, very much up to interpretation. From Man About Town, Spring Summer 2020. Man About Town, Spring Summer 26 cover star, um, off sale pack. Oh, this is just like listing the people. You can explore if you want. The Tuxedo to Excellence, showing off his ripped physique and austere. Oh, this is saying who was wearing it. Okay, well, we know this is ASAP Rocky. And I mean, what do y'all think? ASAP, I don't know what he been on lately. Honestly, I just don't really understand it. It's too much of a hodgepodge for me, and it's not saying anything. It's definitely not saying art. I think sometimes these celebrities want to throw something on and try to make it seem like they think it's art. You know what I mean? But we don't. I see a pink jacket, and nothing really stands out, to be honest. And some of the men like did the darn thing, and this is the one place they're allowed to do it. Coleman Domingo fairly, he rarely disappoints. I like the way it fits. I mean, it's colorful. Is it art to some extent? You know what I mean? Like with your color crayon, it's like when you like have, in kindergarten or what have you, and you learn like squares and you're gonna make a pattern, and he's wearing a pattern and some Michael Jackson pants. And is that a homage to the movie? He was over there being Joe Jackson. So maybe like he's got this 70s print in homage to Michael Jackson and the character he played in the movie. I didn't see the movie. What do y'all think of Coleman? I think it fits well. It looks nice on him. ASAP needs to go home to his kids ASAP. I see what you did there. Is homie wearing a skirt? No, he's not wearing a skirt. It's a jacket. You talking about ASAP? Let me go back to ASAP because I done got ahead of y'all. Um, No, it's not a skirt. It's pants. You just can't see because the letters, but you'll get to see it from other angles because him and Rihanna, were on the carpet together. I think it fits well. I think it's maybe a homage to Michael Jackson. Is it art? In a clownish kind of way. So, say with that what you will. I don't know. I've seen him look far better. So, yeah. Bad Bunny, like I said, Bad Bunny came in a disguise because he didn't want nobody to know he was over here supporting Jeff Bezos. The Rock was wearing a skirt. He was being edgy. Yeah, I feel the same high vibe. I mean, I don't hate it. Um, like I said, it fits well. It's maybe he was this Michael Jackson, this movie is out, and they have obligations that they have to fulfill, or else Hollywood will blackball them. I feel like the Met Gala is on the list. Bad Bunny got the Super Bowl. He probably agreed to do some other shit. He's always here. So yeah, I don't know. Like I don't think they anticipated the negativity to follow behind them. So yeah, but at the end of the day, we all have choices, don't we? What's with the cross and skulls, ASAP? This seems like a huge ritual ceremony. I mean, we are talking about ASAP Rocky, so it very well could be. I don't do rituals. Where he at? Oh, I went back to the wrong one. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know what they be on. You know what I'm saying? To them, it's symbolic. That's why I said tomorrow I'm gonna try to get into what's actually going on here. Today we just going based on opinion for the most part. Um, I seen the Rock's top. I didn't see his half, bottom half. I didn't know he was wearing a skirt. Bam! Put your hip on it. I don't know who this boy is, but he's serving a look. Get it on, boy. Um, it's interesting. It's an interesting tux. There's nothing artistic about it. I don't know this man. Um, I feel like his trousers, when you get to the Met Gala and they get all fancy with the theme, and the theme is up for interpretation. So, I don't know this man, and honestly, it says Paul Anthony Kelly in Dior. I don't know his Paul Anthony Kelly, but he giving a little hand on your hip action, sir. I don't like the way his pants fit, so it's messing with the proportions. And just because you're trying to make it art doesn't mean it's art. It just sometimes is an ill-fitting suit. Macho definitely. Oh, you talking to Lotus? Let's see. The Rock is MAGA too. Is he? I hadn't heard that. I mean, people are taking money side. Bad Bunny looks like old Mr. Rodriguez who lives in course. Yeah, Bad Bunny was like, I bet you what, whenever they put protest pictures in front of my picture, it's gonna look like, oh man, it's not gonna look like Bad Bunny. Very smart, Bad Bunny. Heidi Klum did the same thing. Heidi Klum was like, I bet you what, whenever they post these pictures of me, it won't be me. It'll be, a saggy, slimy, melting Statue of Liberty looking lady. Very smart. I see some of y'all thought outside the box. I can't be mad at that. You in a catch 22, you in a catch 22. What is this man's name? Adrian Brody. He's in Dior. Is he on fentanyl? I'm just kidding. I don't know that I should say that. I don't know. So, yeah. He came over here wearing some leather pants, and he looks like he's going to the MTV Awards. And I wish his eyebrows didn't do that. It's concerning. It's uncomfortable. I don't like it. Anyway. I don't know who these people are. They look like they go into heaven, or at least they hope that's what's about to happen. Troy Sivan in Prada. These are new actors. He also looks like he should be going to the MTV Awards. Thing going on here. I don't know. Anyway, Sambor and Valentino. Now Valentino killed it. This one I'm feeling. It's also kind of, he got his Michael Jackson pants on or whatever, but this one I actually like. And there are other versions of it. Did they not look like they were going to heaven? I'm just saying, the trickery of it all. Bad Bunny just made the whole Super Bowl protest irrelevant. Say it again. Bad Bunny just made the whole Super Bowl protest irrelevant. Because they be skipping out on shit, you know what I'm saying? And then they decide not to. Do they owe but Jeff Bezos money? He's making $64,000 every 27 seconds. How does he even know something's missing? Katy Perry is in the fancy mask. They made her cover her mouth so she won't stick her coochie on somebody. Isn't that what she was doing? Katy Perry? Ugh. You said Heidi and some of them followed the theme. I mean, Heidi was hiding. That's what I think. Some of them knew what was about to come. Sorry, I got a text message. Let me just answer that real quick. Okay, on to the next. On to the next. This young man I like, though. We'll see some more of him. Sambor and Valentino. I don't know these young kids, so, just because Damon is in Prada. This is not art. This is not art. It's just a leather jacket with some, and it's ill fitting. I don't know. Like I'm disappointed because I've seen him like on the red carpets for like SAG and the Academy Awards and whatever they were just doing over there. He looks way more artistic there than he does here. I don't know what's happening here. He looked like he just came out of Bad Boy and just laid some tracks down with Diddy. You should have wore a mask too, Damon. I'm just saying. I don't know this boy. He looks okay in his suit. This is not art, so Romeo. Oh, that's Romeo Beckham. Mm. Romeo Beckham is not bad looking. I don't know why his hair is like that. You know, I guess the hairdresser was like, they said art. I'm making art. I don't know what y'all are doing with this regular ass suit and these leather lapels, but for over here, I'm gonna put some gel in it and make it look like a you know character from Sesame Street hair. That's artistic. They do art on Sesame Street. You like that jacket on Romeo? The jacket is nice. It just doesn't look artistic to me. Damon said basically told us sold his soul to the devil. Oh, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do with Hollywood, y'all? We're gonna have to just go on over to Tubi. None of the Tubi people were here. He looks like he stole his grandpa's clothes. You talk about Damon. The Beckham boys are nice looking. One of them don't fool with them. He's not there. This is the other one. They were like, that's okay. We have other sons. We don't need you. We got to replace you with this one. He's not wearing Victoria Beckham, though. He's wearing Burberry. He looked nice. He don't look artistic. Yes. Yes, bitch. Who is this? Tyreek Withers in Louis Vuitton. Do y'all know who is Tyreek? Mm. He looked like what's that show with the transgenders? They took it off Pose. He looks like one of the characters from Pose. It's just a regular tux. He could have worn a jacket, with his blouse. It's not artistic. It's just clothes. I don't know who he is either, because I'm always on YouTube, not on television. Or maybe he's a movie star. I don't know. He must be somebody. He got $75,000 for a ticket. Hudson William in Balenciaga. He looked like he about to do a bullfight. I'm not mad at it. I like the color. I don't like the train on it. But I get why the train is there, because it would have been real regular without it. I don't know what the patterns are. I don't know what that fabric is. Balenciaga. I wonder what the story is they're trying to tell, though. Balenciaga. I feel like even the designs are kind of very mid. Is that what the kids say? The designs are very mid. I don't know that I would want this to. Sorry, I had to put my battery in, charge my computer, but I don't know what the what do you call it? I don't know what the message is that Balenciaga is trying to tell here. I don't Balenciaga. Ain't that what Jason, what's his name? Hollywood Unlocked. He always be talking about Balenciaga. Anyway, I've spent too much time over here. It's, a little blue bullfighting costume. Let's see what y'all say. He looks upset. They didn't let Olandria walk the red carpet, so they probably wouldn't show anyone from Tubi to walk. I was looking forward to her. I don't know if she has posted her pictures yet. I know she was going. She better be glad they didn't post her on the red carpet, because it ain't looking good for the protesters the next day. Who's a high pay escort? You talking about homeboy with the booby shirt on? He's a high pay escort. I mean, yes. That's what it's giving. I don't know who he is, but he got his boobies out. And this, did he come here with the little matador? Okay. John Batista. I like it. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's a nod to like New York with the bubble jacket. It's a nod to a tux. So, the afro, pick your afro daddy because it's flat on one side. But yeah. I'm not mad at this. It's creative enough and it's fashion enough. And would I consider it art? Maybe if I get a little bit more of the story. A lot of these looks are references. He looks like an angelic pimp. Well, that in itself is artistic. I feel like I need to use that term, even put it on the t-shirt, an angelic pimp. Is there a such thing? High vibe, that's a dangerous mindset. And I feel like it's a mindset similar to mine. You can't be thinking of pimps as angelic, even though that's what it's giving. That'll get us in trouble over here looking at angelic pimps. They call me slick back. You said they did it to her at the last minute. Did what to her at the last minute? Maybe I'm part of a conversation. I'm missing something. Anyway, yes, it was a lot of nipple things, which, come on. It was a lot of like, I want to, show my nipples. I guess, they were referencing a lot of bust from back in the day. I think I told y'all, my mother had the statue of David at the house. So I grew up with David sitting on the mantle, and all the kids, every time somebody would come over, they would be like, ooh, had to go like look at his little penis. She was into that type of art. Another raincoat. Did he come with Damon, Bill Shicard, and Tom Brown? I like Tom Brown, but this is so like very basic for Tom Brown. Tom Brown usually does a really good job of doing kitschy kind of very artistic, clothing. But he just put a raincoat on top of his jacket. Some people are not going they're not gonna get outside the box. They need to stay stiff and staunch and throw a designer name on it and hope for the best. Oh, she said Orlandria. They did her at last minute. She was prepared or she wasn't prepared. Oh, they snatched her off at the last minute. I love it for Project Runway. It doesn't really follow the theme. I've seen a lot of Project Runway stuff over here, which again, Project Runway new season is coming up and I'll be reviewing that my other channel. So like I said, make sure before you leave out of here, you run down to the description and subscribe to just Rhonda '01 over there at Fashion and Beauty. Hair and fashion. I just told y'all the whole wrong thing. Anyway, you said that definitely wasn't David. It's some white guy with the. Ja Tony, I always need to read your comments before I put them over there. I forgot I was even talking about David. Anyway. Let's see what we got next. I can't wait to see what Alondria had. They missed out, but like I said, she should probably be glad that she won't be part of this. How you hear those stories about people saying I was supposed to be on that flight and something happened and I couldn't get on the flight and then the plane crashed. That's what happened with Alondria over here. She was supposed to get on this red carpet and the Lord stepped in and said, "Nope, girl, you are innocent. You are over here following your fashion dreams. You know what I'm saying? Based on a TV show that you weren't supposed to be here, according to them. But, God had a plan for her. And so, yeah, he was like, not this one, girl, not this one. What we're going to do is put you in a dress and then you're going to take a bunch of beautiful pictures and put them on your Instagram and they're going to circulate. But it won't be over here down to this red carpet. So she should just be happy that she didn't get stuck over here in this nonsense. Macho man. I don't know. He looks like what he does. Nicola Hout. He's in Prada, and he looks like the maitre d'. He looks like he was over there opening the doors for people. And here's ASAP Rocky with the jacket closed. He's channeling Hugh Hefner. That's what it's giving. It's giving bathrobe down at the Granada, slipping these ladies a little Mickey. Rihanna, be careful, because your man be in trouble. Well, thank you, to go to Africa. I'm looking forward to giving my fashion critiques, and I certainly hope that we get a better season this year than we did last year. Ugh. Heidi just doesn't disappoint. But your boy La Roche, Zendaya didn't come. Good job, Zendaya. She did not come. She was not over here. Um, she know what the assignment is. So that's some of the guys, y'all. Let's get back into a little bit of the politics. Zaran Mamdani refused to attend the Met Gala. He's New York. I'm guessing he got an invitation. It says, "My voice, my choice." The Met Gala in New York is the grandest event in the fashion calendar. Tickets cost about $100,000. But this year, attention turned to the growing presence of the billionaires like Jeff Bezos. Amazon powers ICE. Did y'all know that? Parts of New York have been prepared with posters criticizing the Bezos involvement in the fundraiser. So before we even got over there, New York was talking about it. Look at him, looking a fool in his ICE costume. Skipping the event is Zohran Mamdani, breaking a decades-long tradition of the New York mayors attending the gala. This how you make a. He stepped out. He got more important things to do than go over there and support Jeff Bezos. Every time they say something about this man, he on the right side of history. Last year was very low budget. Yeah, I hope they get that together. Um, you heard that about him? About who? Yeah, every time I say something and find a story about Mom Donnie, I'm sure he's not perfect, but this is what you do. Imagine if all of them people had took a pause and been like, I caught a cold. I don't feel good. I don't think I'm gonna make it. And I'm talking about people like Sierra, Beyonce. We know she going, child. She's friends with those people over there in the White House. People need to people need free, accessible, quality health care, child care, housing, education, fair wages, and equal rights. Not another show for a billionaire. So he was like, all that money, you got $64,000 per 27 minutes. The least you could do is come over here and spend some money on your city. Treat your workers fairly. Nobody trying to pay money to go to your gala. I like this one. Now this is art. Part of it is in Spanish. It's okay. I don't know what this lady's name is, but this is art to me. And you got your girl Frida, front and center. This dress is a dress that you would have to stand there. It was so well thought out. Look at her hair. Look at her makeup. That necklace is something serious and I'm sure significant to the culture. This is how you pay homage to your culture, girl. Look at that. You could probably sit there. That took a whole lot of work, a whole lot of work to create that embroidery or whatever beading. Oh my goodness. This belongs in the museum. I'm going to give her number one, for now. But this to me, I think, was one of the best dress that I saw over here. Mexican excellence. It is. It was so very well thought out. I'm sure that necklace is some lizards that's native to the culture. Well, she took the hell out of them pictures. I don't know that lady, but she's beautiful. Isn't that amazing? Do y'all know who she is? Oh, Jeff Bezos. I'm just reading the comments, y'all. Don't mind me. Mayor is taxing the rich. These people, she so called said, wait, what you say now? Mayor is taxing the rich. These people, so he said. You said, no, I will not be cornered. Yeah, I mean, stand on business. Ain't that where we started? Watch what people do, not what they say. And so far, he's been standing on business. Isn't that beautiful? And the young lady that's wearing it, um, I don't feel like she needed a whole lot of glam. Let's see. I wish we see more of this in terms of the art of it all. It was just every little thing was so well thought out. Whoever designed this dress, and I'll have that information for you too when I do more research. But I mean, the mathematics of it all. When people think about fashion, I don't know if they really think about math. That's a lot of math and geometry involved in, beautiful, amazing. They're going to be different. I think I just did her twice. That's how excited I got about the darn thing. I kept on clicking on it. The Met Gala is now the Tech Gala. Ooh, that face. They look like Robotron people. $100,000 for the ticket. That's wild. What used to be a closed door networking event for fashion people is now a big box clout store for the richest people on the planet. It won't be nothing if they stop going. I mean, that's the only way to make it. You know what I'm saying? Just stop going. Do something different. Lead them over there with each other. All they're going to do is eat each other because that's what they do. What changed? Tom Ford chairs in 2003, Bezos co-chair. Oh, Tom Ford co-chairs in 2003, Bezos in 2026. In 2003, Gucci was the sponsor. In 2026, OpenAI, Meta, Snap, and that all of the what do you call it, social media bigwigs. In 2003, this was just 20 less than 20 years ago. 3,500 a seat. To me, that sounds normal. $3,500 a seat, you know what I'm saying, for a gala for people with money makes sense. This year, $100,000 a ticket. I'm not about to give you my $100,000. You had enough money to pay for everybody. It should have been free. The taste level was the point. Clout is the point. Look at that. That's Tom Ford, Anna Wintour, and Nicole Kidman. And maybe that's why, the red carpet is less impressive because the wrong people are, in charge of, even to have a theme where it's like so open that you're like, okay, nobody ever knows. Bezos could fund 8,700 Met Galas. That's what I said. He should have just, paid for it. It should have been free. If you know what I mean. What would it hurt to his pockets? If the Met Gala fills up with people who aren't cool, it would eventually become obviously uncool. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. If you stop going, what do they have? What is this money going towards? The ballroom down to the White House for Trump. Trump said he's never leaving. Said he gonna be there for a few more years. That's what the man said. So, this is oligarchy porn. You 2 for 2 high five. Oh, so you said, so it was chatter amongst the elite about the protest. What you mean? So was it chatter amongst the elite? Oh, they wasn't talking about that. They was walking past it just like they didn't see it. I was telling T the other day, I should have saved it, but there's this video of all of these like world leaders and the people that have to be around. You know how they always have people standing around and all these different events. Somebody fell out and she said prom. Oh. Oh, I told y'all I was dyslexic, so prom, porn, close. Anyway, I done forgot my train of thought, child. Um, Doggone it. High five. You got me over here saying things and I don't know what direction I was going in. Anyway, it'll come back to me if I'm supposed to say it. Let's keep it moving. Is there any more? Okay, here's more clothes. This lady got on a dress that we've seen many times. She's got a very long torso. It's not artistic. This is the thing. She couldn't afford no artistic dress because she had to pay that money off of them tickets. So yeah, that's why we're standing here with a few pieces of fabric. That's not even creative. As a designer, I would be embarrassed. I don't even know who she is. Victoria Staretti wears a custom Carolina Herrera. I'm very disappointed because Carolina Herrera is one of my very favorites. But this ain't hitting it. I've seen Carolina Herrera do way, way, way. I mean, most of her dresses, to be honest, are artistic. Like a Carolina, the way it's cut, the math involved in her designs is usually very artistic. This is don't. I wouldn't have even never guessed that was her. Like I said, she got that off the rack down to the discount market because she couldn't. Meryl Streep, Devil Wears Prada came out, y'all.
Skipping out on the Met Gala tonight because of Jeff Bezos' involvement. Number one, and first and foremost, Meryl Streep. This is a huge decision by her. Ultimately, she knows that Jeff Bezos' involvement doesn't necessarily align with who she is. She's in the middle of promoting The Devil Wears Prada 2 as well, which is crazy that she's literally skipping the Met Gala because she doesn't want anything to do with it because of Jeff Bezos. Number two, and this is reportedly so far, Bella Hadid, and she is a staple of the Met Gala. Every single year, she always goes and shows up so big, so wild, and so beautiful, and ultimately she wants nothing to do with it, rumored, because of Jeff Bezos. And number three is Zendaya, which does not surprise me whatsoever with how stern she was with promoting Euphoria and making sure that she was nowhere near Sydney Sweeney. These are the major stars that are skipping out on the Met Gala tonight because of Jeff Bezos' involvement. Number one, and first and foremost, Meryl Streep. This is a huge decision by her. Ultimately,
if Meryl Streep if she can skip the Met Gala, then if she can skip the Met Gala, then so can the rest of these people. That speaks volumes. Meryl is like, you know what? My career been had over and over and over again. Y'all still gonna go watch Devil Wears Prada. That's my work. This is not. Gigi Hadid was there. They said Bella Hadid. So yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, I guess the line was drawn, and you, maybe they don't. They're sisters. Maybe they don't stand on the same business. Meanwhile, our sisters Beyonce and Venus chaired the event. They did. And if what's gonna happen to Beyonce if she don't go? But that just means she's not willing to disrespect Jeff Bezos and his wife. That means her and Jay-Z have a relationship with these people that they can't, oh well, while y'all out here chasing tours and things. Naomi Osaka, is this art? She looks like a Handmaid's Tale with double claws. Isn't that crazy? The message that she's sending, like, what is her message? I want to get behind the art and what the meaning is of this dress, because she's sitting up here, she's the devil in disguise, because she's dressed here like Little House on the Prairie. You got to keep her hands covered so you won't see what's really happening. Them are some scary fingernails. Beautiful jacket, though. Beautiful jacket. But then she comes out of the jacket, and then this is what's underneath there. She's a devil lady. What is the meaning behind that? How do y'all feel about that? Is it art? I'm gonna go ahead and say it feels like art. You thought Beyonce boycott the event for 10 years. This was her return. That's true. Beyonce ain't been there for years, but here she go. You say the Osaka message for her white dress is that they cut her with the bad press about her. Um, I feel like it's deeper than that. Let's see. Yeah, so Naomi's dress, I mean, like I said, I'm gonna give it art. I feel like it's artistic. The jacket is beautiful. You said of all the things Naomi talks about, it was surprised to see her there. I was surprised too, because yeah, she's not one that, within her career has been shying away from speaking her mind at all. I think I don't know. Like I said, you stand on something. We stand on things, based on our morals and values. So it just has to. Zendaya said nah. So and to me that's a lot. Zendaya, that made me like her even more. She's separating herself. You said I'm surprised Naomi was there too. She's usually an activist. Well, you know what? She gonna be a part of the protest photos. She already is. The people done already slapped a sticker in front of her face. So come on, let's hear what y'all have to say now. We'll give you a day or two. You know what I mean? Right now, we want to hear what the people have to say. We'll give y'all a day or two, and then we got questions. We're gonna go to her page and be like, so what was your thought process about attending this year? You can ask the questions without being an asshole. Some folks are there because the companies that sponsor them pay for it. Yeah, but still, you can't be an activist some of the times. Either you is or you ain't. Naomi, what's it gonna be? We not gonna say you. We got questions. I'm not surprised this little girl ain't here because she ain't black. According to her, she ain't colored. This is Tyler. Tyler is doing the thing that I feel like Tiana does a lot of the times. I don't know what, the top of the dress is pretty. I feel like more things need to happen. There's not a lot here. She's blessed with this body, and I feel like that's what they're leading with. So if we want to call her body art, yeah, but she looks like somebody, that's play acting, at a themed restaurant or something. Look like I'm about to eat some Indian food. That's what it looked like to me. Sarah Paulson had a dollar bill on her face to represent the protest. I mean, if you're gonna be there, you need to be protesting. I saw that. If you're gonna be there, it should be for the reason of protest. That's the only way for me to make it make sense. So, when you show up dressed like in a gown, Tyler, that somewhat resembles Indian culture to me. Like I said, she looked like she's gonna be the entertainment where they serve Indian food. Project Runway not artistic a lot of the times. And you know what? Sometimes there are artists on Project Runway who are definitely on a scale beyond. This is just their opportunity to be on a TV show. So, on one hand, Project Runway, on another hand, some of them are far more talented than that. She's Tyler. Oh. Twyla. I'm not gonna laugh because I just made porn out of prom. So paying the money, what'd you say? Paying the money to be there is not protesting. Just don't participate. You're right. I can't argue with that. But like Elsa says, some of the sponsors, some of the people that they work for, some of the people that they work for already sponsored the ticket. So the ticket been paid for based on the company. But okay, dress up and stand outside with them people that's protesting. Wear your beautiful dress and stand outside the building. Don't be on the stairs. That would be a way to protest. Okay, Tyler. What else? AKA Twyla. Um, Mayor Mamdani celebrates New York City's garment workers in a portrait series ahead of the Met Gala. Now he had an event ahead of the Met Gala. The New York City Mayor's office creative team is spotlighting 6 local fashion workers in a portrait series shot by Cara McCurdy ahead of the Met Gala. Mayor Mamdani will reportedly not be attending. No, he made his own event. Now that's hilarious. Look at there. Yeah, the protesting talent, they could have came over here. Oh wow, and they're all people of color. So Latrice Johnson and Lamont Hopewell, former Amazon delivery employees. Oh my God. It says Latrice Johnson and Lamont Hopewell, former Amazon delivery employees and activists. Let me go back because I did not do this lady. Ernestine Gay, Macy's employee and union organizer. This dude, Mondani, he's something else. Hafiz Raza, she's a tailor. Christopher Anderson, a tailor and a union designer. Yeah, they're getting rid of the unions. So Sonia Castre John, she's a tailor. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, Mamdani over here. This is how you protest. This is how you protest. You say, if your employer paid for it, then just show up in your regular clothes. Don't go spending money on a dress and attire and makeup. I mean, if it's for a cause, you know what I'm saying? If it's for a cause and some of them like a message that's going to permeate and be shown, over and over again, you can look at it as an investment in the protest and the message, because when you're on a large scale like that and people are paying attention to you, we everyday people can post something and 100 people will see it, maybe 20. And then, on a large scale like that, millions and millions of people will see it. Kim Kardashian, where's your protest, girl? You brought your nipples. We seen them plenty. Well, I'm here for it, Mamdani. He was like, before the event, we're going to talk about it. It feels like this protest was very well, quietly organized. And, because they would have been ahead of it. Even today, they, own all the media. These pictures is out. These photos is out. And I think it's hilarious that all of these celebrities are over here on the red carpet cheesing, not knowing that they just making their protest photo or being a part of it anyway. You said these folks also should have been boycotted the gala because Bezos paid $75 million for Melania's documentary. I saw that. We talked about that earlier. Nobody watched that shit. You said Elsa is trying to say she ain't 22 years old. Who? I ain't catch that. I didn't catch that, Tony. Okay. Oh, there's more.
Talk about the fact that Amazon is profiting off of ICE. Amazon plays a key role in how ICE is profiling, arresting, detaining, and deporting individuals. And that is because the Department of Homeland Security uses Amazon Web Services for their cloud storage. Amazon's cloud storage is where ICE is storing all the identifiable data about immigrants. So things like their license plate numbers, cell phone records, social media accounts. In September of 2025, ICE purchased $25 million of cloud storage from Amazon. In March of this year, Customs and Border Patrol purchased $39 million worth of Amazon cloud storage. So I did the numbers. That's $64 million that Amazon has made from ICE. Page Six has reported that Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez spent $10 million to be a part of the Met Gala. That's 15.6% of the money that ICE has paid Amazon. With a Bezos-backed Met Gala, we need to talk about the fact that Amazon is profiting off of ICE. Amazon plays a key role.
Everybody want to talk about some things. Jeff Bezos didn't know he was paying for all this free advertising that he's getting today. I did hear that rumor. You said, side note, is Rihanna pregnant again? Because it sure looked like it. Is that why she was dressed like a head of lettuce? I don't know. She got Hugh Hefner and a head of lettuce over here to the red carpet. We're going to get to it. Oh, Kiki. That's just a little bit of the photographers. I mean, it's a beautiful dress. I'm liking her look. It's giving a little bit anime. It's a little bit different for Kiki. I don't know how I feel about that shade of red with that red dress, but I don't hate it. Is it art? It honestly just looks like a really pretty dress, and she looks good wearing it. The bigger question, Kiki, is what are you doing over here? If Zendaya knew, then how you didn't know, Kiki? What they gonna do to you? Because you've been in this business your whole entire life. Another Project Runway dress to go to Africa. You be hard on the kids. It's a pretty dress, but it's not giving Met Gala. It's definitely giving, just regular run-of-the-mill wear red carpet. But if I'm critiquing her look, the hair, the makeup, it looks good. I know she's not giving beauty. She's giving a little more than that. But Kiki, what are you doing over here, girl? What are you doing over here? This is the last year y'all can go. Because, statements need to be made. Oh, no, Coco, why? This is a pretty girl. This is not art. This is also another one of these. This looks like an Academy Award dress. Not so much like, a Met Gala dress. Coco, why are you here? That's what I know for all you young girls, because I'm holding y'all accountable, especially because you guys are in charge of what's next. You guys are in control of, taking what happened, taking the torch over there at the Olympics. You guys are in charge of taking the torch and making sure, representation is a thing. So, yeah, why are you here? That's unfortunate. Bezos was there to oversee no political theme. He was going to be made while he was on the carpet. Ugh. They was outside doing it. And on billboards, on digital billboards at that. You hate the whole look for Kiki? Or, yeah, I know you're not talking about Coco Jones. That's probably Kiki. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I think it's just a dress. Like I said, I don't know the hair. I don't feel like the hair and and makeup go with the dress. But, Kiki is a hit or miss usually too. She's somebody that be on the red carpet and sometimes she gets it, sometimes she doesn't. It kind of, I don't know. It doesn't definitely give red carpet at all. She looks very small. I feel like she used to have a little bit more meat on her bones. I could be wrong. What y'all think about Steph and Aisha? Steph, Aisha, why are you here? I have questions for all of them. These are not fashion people. I'm not surprised at Aisha. She definitely don't be uh she's usually not on the right side of anything. You said Kiki's dress is flattering, but her makeup aged her. Yeah, it's a little bit heavy, but I feel like it wasn't supposed to be beauty makeup. She almost looks like an anime character the way they did that makeup on her. I don't think he has dreads. Looks like he has a hood on. Yeah. This is not art. What is they dressed as? It's just bad. It's all bad. The shape is bad. His coat is it's bad. They look like they coming to the Grim Reaper's party, I guess, child. Actually, that's what they did. They're appropriate. I take it back. They're perfectly dressed for the Grim Reaper's party. Steph and Aisha are dressed for the death of the Met Gala. They seem to be in their own world. I don't know what world they be in. She looks slimmer. Ozempic. I'm not sure that's the case, but all the girls look slimmer. All the girls, excuse me, all the girls over here on social media, influencers, and all the things, they look a little bit slimmer because they took a couple few of them pills. So they didn't have like a whole lot of weight to lose. You know what I'm saying? They just took a couple few to get over that hump, so they don't have the big bobblehead situation happening. What are her shoes doing? Whatever she's doing is not flattering. Is it just me? Aisha is a beautiful girl, but something about her personality is. Steph definitely has the better personality, and so do her kids. They get their personality from their daddy, I guess. Anyway, I don't. I'm not a fan. We seen Bad Bunny. I don't need to do him again. Here's some more news, though. What did we learn over here?
On the bit. She showed up to the Met Gala in a custom Schiaparelli dress based off the painting Portrait of Madame X, which famously hangs in the Met. In the 1800s, when it was first released, it was scandalous. It was called vulgar. One reviewer even said that it was just made for the purpose of being talked about and provoking argument. And obviously, the Bezoses sponsoring the Met Gala has caused a lot of controversy. But here's what you're missing, Lauren. According to the Met Union, 91% of hourly staff at the Met make less than a living wage. 19% of salaried staff make less annually than one ticket to the Met Gala costs. And custom couture Schiaparelli can...
Oh, my bad. Sorry about that, y'all.
Lauren Sanchez Bezos wants you to think she's in on the bit. She showed up to the Met Gala in a custom Schiaparelli dress based off the painting Portrait of Madame X, which famously hangs in the Met. In the 1800s, when it was first released, it was scandalous. It was called vulgar. One reviewer even said that it was just made for the purpose of being talked about and provoking argument. And obviously, the Bezoses sponsoring the Met Gala has caused a lot of controversy. But here's what you're missing, Lauren. According to the Met Union, 91% of hourly staff at the Met make less than a living wage. 19% of salaried staff make less annually than one ticket to the Met Gala costs. And custom couture Schiaparelli can cost over $100,000 for one dress. So unlike the Portrait of Madame X, Lauren Sanchez Bezos isn't just scandal for the sake of scandal. She's tapping into why people have started to hate the Met Gala, that it is run by oligarchs, while the people who actually work at the Met struggle. So while the Portrait of Madame X ended up being timeless, in the end, I don't think Lauren Sanchez Bezos can outrun her own scandal. Lauren Sanchez Bezos wants you to think.
Isn't it wild how his ex-wife is over here donating all this money to HBCUs? They're doing he married the complete opposite of what he was married to before. I wonder if his ex-wife is like getting any money from this 64,000 per 27 seconds. I wonder if the agreement, like if she's getting any of that, you know what I'm saying, in alimony or whatever. I hope so. because she keeps funneling it back into the community. It's just so crazy, like how they're complete opposites. We got this, greedy situation over here. The staff is unpaid. Why is this not shocking? In New York City, no doubt. So we know, you pay thousands of dollars to live in a closet in New York City. Of course, they're not paying their staff. That's how they keep their money. It's sad. And as long as people support it, it's going to keep happening. And I think people like tell themselves they're supporting the arts and the Met, and I think that's what it used to be until yesterday when Jeff Bezos came over here and killed the Met Gala. So it's going to have to come from somewhere else. Okay, so this was going on outside. So, Amazon labor union leader Chris Smalls has reportedly been arrested while protesting the Met Gala, which is sponsored by Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez Bezos this year. So, yeah, he was out here. I wonder, he was labor union leader. That doesn't surprise me that the labor union leader would be out here in the streets, like doing the real work, being on the front line. It's 50 cops to take down that one man. And I'm sure he wasn't doing, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure he wasn't doing too much. He probably figured he was going to get arrested when he got over there. I mean, before he went over there. You say America got to stop unbridling capitalism, maximum income limits. We do. But, it's not us. It's not the people. We just trying to survive. Yeah, he's black. He's black and he's union. So, but like I said, he on the front lines. It's going to take a lot of that. It's going to take a lot of that. Like the lady said, guerrilla warfare. What does that look like? Met Gala ticket price slashed as the boycott this. So Met Gala ticket prices slashed as the boycotts ramp up over Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez involvement. How we're foiling the plot to celebrate Trump's billionaires. What do you do when your mate Trump is unaliving people in Iran and you're starving your workers? Throw a party, obviously. The biggest celeb party of the year. There's no dressing it up. Met Gala chair Jeff Bezos avoids tax, backs Trump, and powers ICE. He out here dressed like he getting his new, Stella got his groove back ass with that lady. She just like Ivana, if you ask me. So a week ago, we plastered New York with the truth. So they started last week. They've been running around trying to snatch this stuff down probably all week. So all of y'all that went to the Met Gala, don't get over there and act like you didn't know what the vibe was, because here it started last week. We were walking around the streets of New York looking at boycott the Bezos Met Gala. Seems pretty self-explanatory to me. Now the media is talking about the real story. Boycott Met Gala posters flood New York as critics slam Jeff Bezos funding, brought to you by workers' exploitation. That's on the Daily Mail. They like that source. It's from the New York Times to the Daily Mail. Everyone is talking about it. Underground campaign calling for boycotts of the Bezos Met Gala. That's what I said, underground. That's one of the terms and conditions we're going to have to operate under at the cookout. Underground. A guerrilla activist group is covering New York with posters criticizing the billionaire Jeff Bezos' involvement in the event, a fundraiser for the Metropolitan Museum. New York been active, and it's funny because nobody was talking about it. Now it's, now that the people have arrived, Trump's billionaires shouldn't get a Met Gala rebrand. They taking everything. I mean, we should be done with it. We could call it a moment in history until Jeff Bezos killed it. Almost 1,000 people have funded the campaign so far. I think that's dope. I think the conversation needs to continue. This is where it starts. This is not where it ends. Let's get a couple more fashions in. This lady in this bubble dress, this is very cute for a quinceanera. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. For a prom. I think that would be so cute if you had a prom dress that, you could let a few bubbles out every now and then. For the Met Gala, I guess, child. It's not enough for me for Met, but I do think like it's cute little prom dress. You could turn the bubbles off and turn them on. Since more of the fans of these people have knowledge about Bezos and the gala, I hope we will boycott next year. I do too. I do too, to go to Africa. I think, it's time to shut it down. The conversation doesn't end here. This is where it starts. We got to keep being vocal about these things. And it seems that the American people only want to pay attention where fashion and entertainment is concerned. That's why it needs to happen, every time they get a public platform. What do they get for the money? A swag bag? No. What they thought they was gonna get is, marketing and exposure, and all they got was embarrassed because the people said it's a no, it's canceled. Yeah, she's a cute little bubble girl, but not enough, not enough for me. I kept seeing this lady, and I don't want to offend anybody, but it's giving silverback, like, you know what I'm saying? And I know it's inappropriate. I don't know what it's supposed to be giving, but it's giving like gorilla, and like a glamorous girl gorilla. I know I'm wrong for that, but and like I said, maybe it's just the way, the black is wrapped around, that little gold piece in the front. And she's a plus size lady. So, it would have been ugly even if she wasn't. So that's not why, I don't like the dress, but that's all I see when I look at this dress. So I'm sorry, young lady. She was photographed a lot. So, like I said, tomorrow I'll get into the details and find out what her inspiration was. Also, there's details here, but when you're wearing black, you can't see it. So maybe, we get a chance to see a little more of the details of the dress, we'll feel differently about it. Janelle Monáe, I absolutely love this dress. She rarely gets it wrong, but Janelle, why are you here? I feel like you fall in the activist category, and there's no protest at all here. So I feel like later on today, I absolutely am. I'm going to go onto some of these people's social media and ask the same question. What was your mindset when you decided against, what's right to attend this gala anyway? What was it, what was it in your mindset, especially people of color? Especially people like Janelle Monáe. Why are you here? It's a sexy second look. You talk about Janelle. Yeah, she's a sexy woman. But she's, I feel like we deserve more. You talking about the gorilla dress? Yes, to go to Africa is definitely not flattering. I love Janelle. I'm disappointed though. So yeah, I got questions. I'm gonna figure out how to, pose the question without coming off insulting. But I just want to know what y'all's mindset was. Angela Bassett, this is the worst I've ever seen her look. And I've seen the inspiration that she went by, but this is terrible. Her and Kiki went over to the same makeup artist. I don't like how this dress has her meat underneath her arms all bunched up. This lady is in good shape, but that top has got her squished in a way that's definitely unflattering. Remember when in Dream Girls, when they used to be at the house making their costumes to go perform in? That's what this looks like, Angela. She looked good though, and Angela's like close to 70. I think she well into her 60s for sure. Let's see what y'all are saying. Oh, you think the gorilla's dress is sexy? I mean, I didn't say she wasn't sexy necessarily. I guess I find gorillas kind of sexy to be honest, but yeah, she looks like a girl gorilla. I just not her face. I'm talking about that costume, so don't get it twisted. I can't even see her face because it's covered up. Yeah, Angela, it's a no. I don't know who this man is, but it looks like, he went to one of those New York street stores from the 90s and got him one of those graphic outfits, two piece, and threw on some fancy gold embellishments on his shoes. It just, it doesn't say Met Gala for me. And, I'm not sure what the meaning is. Oh, we got another heavenly pimp. Who is this? I don't know who this is, but yeah. Who's that? High Vibe. High Vibe. We've got another heavenly pimp over here. He's giving you a little chesticles. I don't know. He's an, pimp angel. That's all I got to say about this. I don't know this man. SZA. So this is this dress that I don't know, it's kind of Mexican inspired, and then she's got that floral headpiece. It just seems like a lot of cultures all mushed into one. So a lot of these dresses were inspired by a painting, and that's why we're not getting it until we see, the actual inspiration. I don't like it. I don't think it's a good fit. The best thing about it is the headpiece. That part I'm okay with, but the rest of this dress don't make sense to me. So until somebody explains it, I'm not gonna get it. It's not gonna make me like it any better. But I definitely don't understand, what's happening here. It's a lot. What's wrong with Gabrielle Union's face? Is she getting work done? She's starting to get Asian in the eyes. I passed her a couple of times and didn't even know who she was. So yeah, Gabrielle, your eyes are, it's giving. What's that movie? Get Out. It looked like that lady that was in the kitchen on Get Out, and she was like, her eyes was, ooh, Jeff Bezos, y'all better get out of there. Gabrielle, I don't like this dress. It's a pretty because the color on your skin is amazing. Her body look. I don't know what's going on with Gabrielle. Can somebody go check on her? Is she okay? I like her hair. I don't know who that is. That's another pretty brown dress. This just looks like a regular dress. There's nothing artistic about it. So, you pretty dress, pretty girl, not Met Gala. Jimmy Buckets, what is happening here? This is a strange boy, young man. I'm gonna call him a young man, grown ass man. It's a grown ass man over here, but he's good at basketball. But I don't understand what his fashion is. It's making him. These are the weirdest proportions I think I've ever seen. I'm pretty sure he's got a hoodie on under that jacket. I just don't know what's happening over here with Jimmy Buckets. Let me go back. I missed a little bit of what y'all was saying. You said Janelle's dress is a masterpiece, and she made a masterpiece mistake for being there. That's what I think. She should have wore that dress outside on the sidewalk with a picket sign or something. I don't know what she had to gain from go. I don't either to go to Africa. And like I said, Janelle kind of falls in that activist basket. She usually, even in her music, everything that she usually stands for is not this. They trying to make dudes dress feminine. They ain't had to make him do anything. Jimmy Buckets look a fool generally, usually, when you see him, besides on the basketball court. And nobody making him do anything. Y'all got to get out of that mindset of somebody is trying to make them do something. This grown-ass man went to whoever designed this ugly outfit and decided this was the look for him. And then he coming up here posing like that. Why? Because he's too afraid to put his hand on his hip, because then they're going to call him sassy, as if. And I'm going to just let it stay right there before I get myself into trouble. I don't know who this is. I wish this dress wasn't black. I feel like it's way prettier than what we can tell, but it's in black, so you can't see the details. So, I don't really know what to say about it because I can't really see it. D-Way. Why is him and Gabrielle not on the red carpet together? Are they together and they just chose to take separate pictures? Why is he walking around with sunglasses on? I hate it. You are inside. And really, Gabrielle needed the sunglasses on because she's the one over there looking all dead in the eyes. So this man found a tuxedo somewhere in the back of his closet and ripped the sleeves off of it. And then I don't know what he fed his wife before he came over here to this carpet, but she seems to be somewhat in a daze. And so I'm concerned about, what's happening over there with Gabrielle Union because something ain't right. You said, no, Jimmy, I'm so disappointed in everything. Did he make that outfit himself? It looked like it. It does. It looked like, how you have a toddler and they dress themselves and they come out and they be like, ta-da, look what I did. I dressed up by myself. That's definitely what he looks like. and and like I said, Dwayne Wade is over here like ripping the sleeves off his old tuxes. So, that's creative. Asha looks like a character from Wicked or Maleficent. Yeah. So that's all I got. That's all I got. I mean, her makeup is too much. I'm not a fan of it. She's very greased up. Like they could have it's the one thing to have a glow. She's looking a little greasy. It's very matronly. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm sorry, Asha. This right here, this is one of those things where people feel like I'm gonna throw a cape on it and that makes it art. This is not art. This is another prom dress with a long train and it's in black. You take that cover down off her hair and cut that train off just a little bit and she's down here doing prom reveals to the hood. We've seen Coco. It's a pretty dress, Coco, but it's just. So here's Sarah. Sarah dressed up in a tutu with a dollar bill over her. That ain't enough protesting for me, Sarah. I'm sorry, that ain't it. I don't know what I'm supposed to know by looking at you with the money over your face. That why you down here to the money party. I don't know if you over here trying to make it rain. You over here at some sad, dreary, haunted house debutante ball with a dollar bill over your face. So, somebody needs to help Sarah with protest. Who was over there helping her, pull her idea together? Too much Vaseline on them shoulders. They was glistening, but not in a good way. You know what I mean? It was definitely not a glow. It was greasy. I just want to walk over to her with a paper towel and, touch them shoulders just a little bit. And yeah, somebody, Sarah, it's a no for me. It feels like a trick. Feels like you down here trying to trick us with an ugly, dusty, haunted house dress and a dollar bill over your face. So yeah, for me, it's a no, Sarah. I'm not buying your protest. If you're going to protest, have your ass outside with the union labor man. Then the dollar over your face. The haunted death of the Met Gala. Now we're getting somewhere, but you can't run around with a dollar bill stuck to your face and act like we're supposed to understand that's a protest. Did Babyface wear this last year? I feel like it was him or Pharrell. That is not a protest. You're right. That is not, T. That is let me stick a money on my face so the people won't know it's me. You didn't think that he and Gabrielle stayed together after the allegations about his sexual orientation? She been knew what it was before she went and took her ass over there. I don't think that was such a secret. As far as I know, they still together. They're not together on this red carpet, and maybe it's because he couldn't find her because she don't look like Gabrielle Union. I don't know who that lady was, but I passed about 5 pictures of her before I realized I had to read it. or I saw him. That's what made me know it was her. When I saw his picture, then I had to go back. I was like, oh shoot, I didn't know who that lady was. So maybe that's why they're not together. Maybe he was walking around there trying to find her. And he was like, that looked like her. Nope, that ain't it. Yeah, Babyface. He went to go perform. That looked like what he wear down to the concert stage in front of the piano. Another one with sunglasses on, and there's nothing else to say about his outfit except for I think Pharrell wore that last year. Gail. Gail irritates me. I don't know why. I don't have a reason. It's just something about her. Maybe it's because she's Oprah's friend, or she's over here wasting money. She's definitely Jeff Bezos' friend. Was she down to the rocket ship with Katy Perry? What was y'all doing in there for 11 minutes? Because they said Katy Perry don't know how to keep her coochie to herself. She looks like she's going to a Great Gatsby ball. I don't know if she got the memo, but for me, this looks like, roaring 20s. Not so much, whatever we got going on as art is concerned. You said they're together. That's what I thought. And I don't think Gabby cares about his sexuality. No. And I don't think we should either. Hell, that's them people's business. I'm more concerned about that dead look in her eyes. Yeah, Oprah, Gail, Beyonce, all y'all. Not surprised you're there. Mm-mm-mm. It's so sad. And Oprah's supposed to be coming up with a new program. There's your boy, Batista. He's the other heavenly pimp. I think they should take a picture together. Anderson Paak looked like how he always does. So there's nothing to say about that. Did you divorce your wife, Anderson, while you over there, fooling around with Jeannie Mai? Angel. Angel looked like she came with A$AP Rocky. Did they shop at the same store? Angel, this is not art. This is another like bathrobe. This is like, no, New York is where I'd rather stay. I know Zsa Zsa Gabor had that in her closet, and I know somewhere it's down on that farm at Green Acre. She was over there down to the barn talking to her husband, dressed in this very same robe. Maybe not with the same train on it, but it's giving Zsa Zsa Gabor. And I love me some fabulousness that is Zsa Zsa Gabor, the over the top, the feathers and sheer of it all, but not over here on the red carpet. It's giving, bathrobe fused with, raincoat vibes. I love Angel, but this ain't it. I haven't seen Cardi. Now these I loved. Let's look at the Carter family right quick. Carter family, what's her name? Beyonce. Not what's her name. Beyonce got on her skeleton dress. You know why? Because all the bones these people got in their closet. This dress represents all of the bones that the Carters be carrying in their closet. And don't be trying to throw Blue Ivy over here in front of us as a distraction. Blue Ivy is tall, pretty girl. Yep, Beyonce, we see you, girl. Why do Blue Ivy dress like the Heavenly Pimps? Don't let her go over there with them by herself. Ugh. Yeah, Beyonce got the feathers of the birds and the bones of the ancestors all over her dress. She's not gonna beat those allegations. So I don't know what to tell you, B. You showed up over here, and if anybody I can leave alone, it's some damn Beyonce. No, I won't be talking about her products. No, I won't be talking about nothing Carter related because y'all over here up the ass of Jeff Bezos. You, Oprah, Gail, down to the wedding. These were pretty. These were pretty looks. Every reference and recreation, interpretation from this year's Met Gala so far. So this is the recreation, and I guess this is the inspiration. So we'll go through right quick. So you can see, the art that inspired the dress. I don't know how I would have went to that picture and thought that's the one I want to do, but this lady did. What's her name? Hunter Schafer. Yeah, this is what she did. Prada. She got together with Prada, and this is their recreation. Jeff Bezos' wife literally copied the other dress, but they said in the beginning she missing the message. Rachel Ziegler. This is a lot. It's the same. It's too literal. I feel like of the inspiration. Heidi, like I said, Heidi's hiding. I think it's also very literal. If I'm being honest, Heidi's inspiration. Beyonce doesn't have enough closets for all of her skeletons. Child. Bet you they start falling out. Bet you they can't keep it forever. You know, this might be what they expose. And Beyonce's energy was weird. So I did watch the red carpet, you know, on YouTube. I watched the people arriving, and Beyonce's energy was very off. You said Blue Ivy looks like a 22-year-old, not a 14-year-old. That's how they doing the kids, child. I know she's tall. They look like they're at different events. You talking about the Carters? Um, Beyonce and what's her name, Blue Ivy? Yeah, they don't. They don't really. You know, there's no nod to Beyonce at all when you look at what Blue Ivy like. Who said that? A distraction? Oh my goodness. Yeah, Heidi over here. It looked like one of Heidi's regular Halloween costumes. This one I liked for some reason. And even though it's very literal, I love like that she looks like she posed for that picture. It's giving very much this is Amy Sherald. I appreciate them putting the names there. She got a little purse like a poodle. I feel like this actually fits the theme more from last year's dandyism theme, but you know, I like it because you know it's a very cute interpretation of. Here's Angela Bassett, sad photo. She looked a sad mess. I'm disappointed in Angela. She's another one. Like, why are you here, Angela? That's how I feel about some of you actresses that are very well, you know, deeply rooted in the industry where you could have sat this one out. It wasn't that serious. I mean, it is very serious, but it wasn't that serious that you had to be here. This is art. This dress does give art to me. It's a beautiful dress. It don't remind me of this picture. I don't think the translation translates for me much, but you know, it definitely fits the theme. Sam Smith, yes. Why do I like this? I don't know. Is it artistic? Maybe. Maybe because, you know, he channeled whatever was happening here. It's on brand for Sam Smith. Sam, why are you here? You do not get a pass. You're one of the kids in the community. You know, these people are not here for you. Jay-Z really needs a lot more than her for all of his skeletons. Oh, you talking to Ja Tony. To go to Africa, you know, did you take your blood pressure medicine? Because you know Ja Tony gonna have you over here arguing for entertainment purposes. I like whatever Sam Smith is doing over here. So yeah. I don't know why. Jordan Rock, this is weird. I think this is very weird. Um, it's very spooky. But you know why? Because there's ghosts and skeletons running around over here at this Met Gala where Jeff Bezos killed it. So she looks haunted, just like this event. This lady has metal hands that are actually gonna. I'm not mad at that. Now, if you're talking about wearing a beautiful gown and art at the same time, and the way these mechanical hands like are moving in that really creepy kind of way, I like it. I'm sure I shouldn't like it. You know, she did a really great job of taking a flattering silhouette. You know, it's hugging her body in all the right places. It's a beautiful gown. And then it has that element of art of these mechanical hands that, you know, like I said, are actually moving. Is it an accurate interpretation? I believe these fingers are Um, isn't this a Michelangelo reference? Anyway, it doesn't the dress doesn't to me translate from the photo, but I like the dress all the same. The photo is not it's not giving, like I said, for me it doesn't translate from that particular picture. But I wasn't the designer over here. Ashley Graham, I guess, child, she looks very mediocre. I feel like she took the, and she's done this a couple different times. Ashley Graham is one of the hosts, and she took the easy way out. I feel like she, could have done more. Doja Cat, also, I feel like Doja Cat took some of that, wet looking fabric. They just threw it up on her right quick. This looks very um, last minute. It's not reminiscent at all of this artwork. It's just some fabric thrown up on her with some sleeves on it. So y'all gonna, not get a point for me just because you're a pretty girl in a pretty dress. I don't even think the dress is pretty, to be honest. With a good, pretty girl with a good body, and then you just throw something on her. Ben Plass, he painted the picture on his suit. Okay, ciao. This one I like. This is Lisa Aaron. I definitely think it's very colorful. It's giving art. It's giving more art gallery than Met Gala. Like if I was going to an art gallery event, this I feel like would be appropriate. In order for it to be Met Gala for me, I feel like the bottom of that dress needed more. It needed more, more. You were on a good foundation, but for it to be Met Gala level, it definitely needed to be more. But I do think that it's an accurate interpretation. It's kind of literal, but I love the way, the colors and it's bright. And yeah, it's just not enough. It should have been more. Ciao. Macho man Luke Evans. He's Tom Finland. He's playing a character, and so I guess that's what he came to do. He's been spending his whole life wanting to bust out in this leather outfit. He's been in the gym. He knew he got his Met Gala ticket paid for, so he came over here to shake a little tail feather, see what he could bring home. This is another beautiful one. As far as interpretation, looks like a lot of work. I would love to see the detailing on that dress. This is Emma Chamberlain. I would love to see it closer. Yeah, this is one of my faves too in terms of um, being on theme. These are the last few, and then we're gonna get out of here. And I'll pick up over, like I said, tomorrow. Um, if you weren't here, go ahead down to the description box and don't forget to subscribe to Just Rhonda Hair and Fashion, and we can get into these conversations a little deeper. Kylie Jenner looks like she's peeling out of her straight jacket wearing some Skims. She was, I don't know what she was doing, but they got her locked up in one of them hug yourself just jackets, dresses, and she figured her way out of it. And it's because she's wearing Skims. So she should thank her sister Kim for letting her, borrow them Skims, for she was able to escape her straight jacket. Because when you look in her face, it's giving a little crazy. Yeah, no eyebrows and a swoop around the eye. I don't know who inspired who, child. She brought her nipples and her belly button, and she's looking psycho. So yeah, what y'all think? Ooh, you said many of these people should have consulted with some of RuPaul's queens about their attire. They would have looked much better, and them queens be making their dresses by themselves. Um, because this is where you do the most. This is where you're supposed to be over the top. Them Euros had a thing for them for little ones. Yeah, and some of these Negroes do too, unfortunately. Let's see. It's just a couple few people on here I wanted to get off the list. Tiana came down here dressed as Cousin It in a sparkling snow fairy dress. She looks like some type of creature that will come up out of the snow. Like, what do they call him? Sasquatch. She's a little mini Sasquatch lady with a sparkly, hairy, sparkly dress on. What this dress is definitely editorial. Tiana will definitely get a lot of great photos from this dress, because it moves. You have to see it move. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give it artistic. Do I like it? Yeah, it's giving me the same vibe as the gorilla lady. We got a gorilla lady and we got a Sasquatch dress. Sabrina, remember that commercial, that Super Bowl commercial with Britney Spears and Pink and Beyonce, and they was dressed in them like gladiator dresses? That's what this looks like. Um, yeah, she's giving like a little silver gladiator situation because it's definitely not giving Met Gala. I don't have high expectations of Serena. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm glad her makeup matched her shoulder. Because she is notoriously showing up with casket face. And if any of these dresses gave Project Runway, this one definitely did. I don't know who styled it with the stupid vine on her leg with that shoe, and she only got a vine on one leg, and then of course she's got on her gladiator dress. And yeah, only thing I could say about this is like, yeah, I'm glad your face ain't pasty and white, Serena. It ain't looking good from any of the angles. It's not looking good from any of the angles. It's giving way too much no thank you. She followed the assignment. She followed the assignment. Is that all she get to go to Africa? That's all you can say about that Serena dress, is she followed the assignment. I mean, she getting her color back. She ain't never lost it. She just washed her face. It comes back every night when she goes to bed. Um, You glad Serena is thick again? Yeah, did she stop taking that medicine? She over here advertising that medicine she got y'all out here taking, and she didn't even taking it no more. Probably because she don't want to look like a bobblehead. Serena's designer did her wrong. Serena, has her designer ever done her right? There's only like a couple times that the Williams sisters have showed up somewhere. You were never really like, wow. You were maybe like, oh, okay, that's not bad. The best they've ever done is not bad. Oh, Tiana, what'd you say about Tiana? She followed the assignment. She did follow the assignment. I'm not mad at it. It's and Tiana, like I said, there will be pictures all over the place of her in at various poses because she gonna work that dress. I seen her shaking it. The way it shingles is it's amazing. Shout out to the person that designed it because that's a lot of work. Lala came over here. Lala looks pretty. Look at that. That is gorgeous. Now this is also, she followed the assignment. I don't know how she looks like some beautiful swamp creature, like she come up out of the swamp, or one of those fish that you're not supposed to touch, But it's almost giving like fluidity and liquidy in while she's standing there. So yeah, shout out to whoever designed that. Lala, I like this red on her. This dress was actually really pretty. Live. So yeah, y'all have to check out the red carpet live if you haven't already. It was really pretty live. Lala is the host. I don't know the history behind the dress, but it's cute or whatever. It looks like clay. I don't know who this is, and I don't like her dress. And I don't know who this is, and this dress is also stupid. These look like cheap Halloween costumes. I don't, these are people that I'm not familiar with. I find this fabric so cute. It don't have nothing to do with nothing, but I feel like it would be cute, like at a yacht party or something where you have to dress up. These are all bad. So Look at Serena here with her husband. How tall is this man? How tall is she? I'll have to get those questions. But, this right here, her and her sisters, and their partners. And I'm going to leave it there. That's why she's here. I'm skipping past Anna Wintour. Anna Wintour and Beyonce went shopping at the same store. I never really give too much to Anna Wintour. She's always doing the bare minimum as far as I'm concerned. And anybody that wears their hair the exact same all those years is a problem for me. It's giving stuck. Nicole Kidman, I don't like it. And she's chairing this week in this year. That's her daughter. I don't like either one of them, but Nicole Kidman, who's notorious for giving looks on the red carpet, for me, this is not it. Another odd couple. Child, if that ain't odd, wonder what those conversations sound like. I don't know a whole lot about him. I knew she got married. Yeah, Lala's dress was pretty. I'm trying to catch up and see what y'all have been saying. Is that a booty cheek? I see on Serena. Yeah, it's a whole booty cheek. She could have put that back, and we've been looking at her booty cheeks for years, but it wasn't giving what it was supposed to give. Venus always looks better than Serena. Serena's cosmetic surgeon has not been kind to her. Oh, shots fired. I agree. Venus does always look better than Serena, but not by much. They're usually both kind of tragic. Serena's just more tragic than Venus. You said Deborah Roberts came as an outdoor blankie. Okay, now I got to go see who that is. Deborah Roberts. Let me see if I got a blankie out of it. Is it that girl with the little outdoor blankie? I don't know which one she is. Who? I don't know who is Deborah Roberts, but outdoor blankie, indoor blankie, they all kind of look a mess. Yeah, I don't like what Nicole Kidman has on. I'm not talking about that lady no more. Cardi. We can do Cardi. Now this looked like I don't know. It's kind of fungusy, like a mushroom. You know what I'm saying? You know how you go out in your yard and you see something growing in a dark corner? You're like, what the hell is that? And then you just run the lawnmower over it. It's giving very much fungusy, mushroomy. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't want to be thinking about no fungus when I'm looking at a dress. Al Roker's wife. Oh, okay. I did like I did like that though. I didn't even realize that was her. That's wild. Um, I don't know. I did enjoy that fabric. Cardi, on the other hand, I don't know. Cardi, why are you here? That's my question. You know better. You just came off a tour and you got them babies. You could have been like, I've been too much. I've been doing too much. I need to sit down. This ain't the one to go to. So, I'm going to expect y'all to have some answers for me. There's Jafar. Why is he there? Because he's a Jackson and he was in that movie. So they over here, promoting the movie. Okay. Rihanna. What is that? Well, I don't know what's happening here with Rihanna. Is she letting him make the decisions? Because, oh my goodness, Rihanna. She's all them legs. I don't care. She just had a baby. You know what I'm saying? The thickness is good thickness. So I don't know what's happening here. I don't know what she looks like. Something, mud guppy from outer space. I don't know. And she's over here with Hugh Hefner. Ugh. Looks like a disease. You talking about Cardi. Cardi is, yeah, it looks like mold. That's what I said. It looks like some type of, like thing that grows in a dark, damp place. and you be underneath it, and you looking underneath something. And you're like, what the hell is that? This thing that's just damp and no sunlight. Cardi looks like a tumor, a moldy one. You said tumor. You said shout out to Arnold. I'm guessing that's what you meant. Uh-uh. I don't know. Rihanna, ASAP, I'm disappointed. This lady right here, I don't like it. Let me start with that. I don't like it. It's not on theme. The best part about it is the headpiece. And every time I see Doshi, I don't know who she is. Doshi is like a chameleon. I feel like she shows up every single time looking completely different. This lady is holding on to the fabric that they're going to make the dress out of, but she ran out of time. And it seems like, they spent all the time on the headpiece, which is very beautiful. She got good skin. See how she's borderline. She's borderline. She's leans a little bit more on the glowy than the greasy. No shoes. I guess. Chow. I don't know what it's not art, but I do love that headpiece. Did we look at Kim's dress yet? Kim came with some orange space titties. She's got on a blonde wig. This is also, I feel like it could have been a look, but they gave up at the skirt part. I don't know what that means. So, yeah, the Kardashian Jenners came out with titty dresses, different versions of a different nipple dress. That's Justin Bieber's wife, but she's also got, this corseted thing happening. Straight jacket lady. That color that Kim's the bodice of that dress, that orange is beautiful. Y'all referencing nipples is so corny to me. Look at that. She said, "You will not know who I am up here at this Jeff Bezos party. I'm gonna put a mirror on. You won't see me, and my whole face gonna be covered." So there's that. Solange. What the hell is happening here? I don't get it. It's like, okay, so when you get close, again, with these black things, you can see all the detailing. These like little, it's like a shell, almost like some type of beetle. You know what it's giving? Ursula. Solange looked like she dressed as Ursula from The Little Mermaid. Please tell me you don't see Ursula when you see this dress. She looks good. Gorgeous face. That don't look like Ursula to you? She don't look like she about to snatch the Little Mermaid's voice? I'm about to get out of here, y'all. I'm just over here talking now. Look at the pictures. This was one of my favorites. I don't know who this young lady is. Chase Infinity. I don't know who is Chase Infinity, but I love this dress. And she also did a nipple thing, but very beautiful. It's it's jewels, and it looks like it's been painted. And her hair is pretty damn amazing too. I don't know that young lady. I guess I better get with it. Solange is ready for another shuffle in the elevator. Another scuffle in the elevator. Not just in that, she ain't. She ended up stuck, in the elevator door. Kim don't look like Kim. It's the nipples. You just can't see her face because the nipples is in the way. A wild animal in the jungle would be terrified and run away if they saw Cardi. She looks like a creature yeah, or fungus. It just looks like it smells bad and you want to run your mower over it. You talking about Doshi? Doshi is naked. It's like how many yards do we have? She's standing there holding the fabric let me see. Stand over there, put your toe up. Yeah, we could use this. And then they used most of it for the hat and didn't make the dress. A voodoo priestess. Okay, I give her that, but she's not giving dresses art. Yeah, this one is beautiful. This was one of my favorites. This one, I think the Frida Kahlo dress, though, honestly, is probably my absolute favorite. And this would be a close second. Her hair is beautiful. She's a young girl. The dress is not doing too much. You know what I mean? It's not wearing her. Beautiful. Who is that lady? I'm sure she was in some movie. We're gonna end it here because I feel like this is how we all feel. Taraji P. Henson calls out the celebs attending Bezos backed Met Gala. What the f are we doing? Thank you, Taraji. The actress took to social media to question why celebrities are still attending the high profile event, which is being backed by billionaire Jeff Bezos and his wife, Lauren Sanchez. Her comments came in response to a viral video criticizing the gala's ties to Bezos and, and the messaging around it. I am so confused by some of the people that are going. Am I'm just like, what the f- are we doing? Henson wrote, echoing growing criticism surrounding the event. The 2026 Met Gala has been facing backlash due to Bezos' involvement as a major sponsor, with the critics pointing to issues like wealth inequality and broader political concerns. Henson isn't alone. Several high profile figures have either spoken out or opted not to attend, fueling speculation that the event is becoming increasingly polarizing with the entertainment and fashion world. Shout out to Taraji. I'm gonna go ahead and say that's where we need to stop, um, because that's the real message. At the end of the day, we could talk about fashion. I will be doing that, like I said, tomorrow. Slip on down before you leave this morning to the description box and click over on my other page where we'll be talking about hair, fashion, and things of that nature. I'll be reviewing products. I'll be critiquing um, consultations, what you should look for, when you go into a new space, a new salon, and yeah, all of that. And I'm going to get into like what actually the inspirations were for some of these looks. You look at it one way and, like it or not, at least you'll know like where the inspiration coming from. Taraji is waking up now. It is never too late, child. Never too late. And if she can do it, if Zendaya can do it, Meryl Streep, shout out to Meryl Streep because she one of the big dogs out there, in this Hollywood game. I guess she said, I had my career, you know what I'm saying? And I know what it was and I see what it is, and I ain't about to be down with that. Jane Fonda, I mean, she don't do that type of bullshit. She been an old school ally from back in the day. So we would like to see more of those, y'all. Thank you for hanging out with me. Ooh, we was all up. It's almost 1 o'clock. Did y'all eat y'all's lunch? Y'all get out here and go ahead, enjoy your lunch before your work day is over. Me and T will be back this afternoon, well, this evening at 7 o'clock. So for those of y'all that's used to seeing T, over here in the chat, she's gonna be up here discussing these Real Housewives of Atlanta with me tonight. So y'all enjoy the rest of your day, and yeah, we'll see you later. And see you when you see you. Bye, y'all.